Oh, it's a bit nippy this morning. Joints are a bit, must be getting old. Oh, you know, you get that in your finger joints, you get that sort of, it's the early signs that possibly rheumatism setting in, but anyway. I do push this body a bit. I was up at 3 o'clock already doing one of these. I did try and justify it. Right. Graham, you've only had 2.5 hours sleep. No, you got to stick. But something tells me I'm going to have a good lie-in, which I do. You've got to look after your body and it'll look after you. And okay, 6:37. So there is no, I mean, shut up. I was going to say we'll all norm me up, but for God, it's not like that anymore, Graham. You know, I mean, if you don't want to get up, then don't. Of course I do. Right. Well, I've got a fax number to, in fact, I've put it on this because that's it. 01, which is the American code, so it sounds genuine. 650-543-4800. And that is supposed to be to get to Mark Zuckerberg. So I've got a fax here, actually. But to use a fax, as some of you know, you've got to print. No, see, it's A3. Okay. And in here somewhere, there is an A4, well, it's actually an A5 leaflet, which is, if you know all these things are, an A4 thing. I'll use faxes have been very significant in my life. I shared that in my earlier days, trying to get this together, it suddenly became aware, or I suddenly became aware of the fax technology and how useful that could have been. i.e., I could ring anybody up, anybody, and they get to your security secretary or whatever, you know, Trump or whatever, but he's open anyway, but you know what I mean? Have you got a fax number, please, that I can get in contact with, wherever it was, blah, 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 blah. They think a bit. I said, come on. I said, it's just a document. I want him to look at it. He doesn't like it. It's not taking him, the person you're trying to contact, right? He doesn't have to come to the phone and enter into like me a 20-minute, 30-minute discussion and what is this here about him, you know, and all this, right, and whatever. Boom. And then, in the person's own time, they can look over it, discuss it with their aides and all the rest of it. Yeah. You know, we're going to go for this. Because that's exactly what happened with Sir Richard Branson. I did fax him through an outline and it got to him. And I did get it acknowledged. So for all you other kiddies out there, fax machines. More than how I've said it. How are they going to do it? They don't know you from Adam. You play the same game back. Oh, I'm just make it up, you know, Mickey Mouse's secretary. Okay. Good mate of Batman's, you know. Of course they're going to let it through, and so they should. That's the part of this. We all need to just let our stuff down a bit. We're going on all of a sudden. Our planet needs help, and we, all of us, I'm talking to all of us, humanity, and that have just got to leave the barriers, the paranoia, because that's what it's just down a bit. Okay? Well, it's just the facts. No, someone isn't going to start swearing at me and telling me that I shouldn't be doing my job or whatever. And also, because it is a fact and it's written, if there is any hanky-panky, whoa, we've got them. Why do you think Mr. Trump? Because he's sussed. A businessman. No, we've got to keep our channels of communication open. Okay. And those, obviously it's probably been discussed, but look, and all you say, oh, no, because it's just like with me, sent a link to a video. And that's another brilliant tip. See, again, you have got something long and fluing to get across to someone. Imagine what it's like on the phone. What? They haven't grasped what you've said. But with this, and you tune in as well, or the spirit does, however you want to consider it, if something needs to be repeated or expanded, you yourself, when you're moving in the spirit, you're getting feedback, right? Again, as we were told, don't worry about what to say, for I will give you the words. This is the Holy Spirit. Now, we could get into an argument about that. She's picking up. See, we could get into an argument about that. It's probably called many different things. One man's Holy Spirit is another man's prophet. Oh, it's Muhammad coming through. Right? Or Muhammad was a spokesperson for something higher. I had a lovely, interesting exchange with some beautiful, how can I put this without it being practitioners of Islam. Now, if you'd have seen this, and I did share it with a few friends, but I just boom, boom, boom. It was the normal morning prayer to Muhammad, and it's got a special name, but it's sung. And the man that was singing it, and if you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about, and it's in a beautiful mosque, and had all these other followers behind, but with a natural stance of head down in respect. Okay? And it teaches you how we should worship, sing, with an absolute attitude of respect. I mean, this man, in my perception, was obviously a Christed one. I shared that. I mean, to look at me, what? Black hair, proper little thing, and singing, you could just sense that in the way he was singing. This is pure devotion. So you don't just, having a go at myself, is it? Mumble, 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 blessed Jesus, Lord's Prayer, although that's the way we're taught. I personally think that's a notch up, and that we have got something to learn from the Islamic faith on how to pray, how to worship. I believe that again, I'm not an authority, am I, on Islamic culture. Right? Oh, yeah, let's see, right. Okay. Buddhism, yeah, because I've touched into it and done it. Get it? Krishna consciousness, that's Hinduism. Yeah, I've done it. Oh dear. I may have obviously done it. Yeah, I may have done it in a past life. Okay. Yeah. Because that is my recognition. From the Spirit, in the Spirit, get it? Wow. A Christed one. Anyway, if you can, check it out and see what you think. But it uplifted me. Remember I shared about that, find somewhere on Facebook and there's people worshipping God. I said that all the time. And I shared the actual example I had with people that are worshipping Krishna. And I did all the thing. I shared about that. You can press the thing and send the hearts to give them direct feedback. And it uplifted them. It's a two-way process, right? So if you are doing something like that, and then someone is sending you love, just, thank you or whatever for doing this, whoom, it uplifts the worship. And I witnessed that. And the same with this man. Whoa, you won't believe what was cracking off via the messages and all the thing, but it brought down a complete anointing of peace. Yeah, the peace that passeth all understanding. And it hasn't gone away. Again, we're all evolving. So my awareness 2 hours ago or whatever it was, if we're open, get it? How are we meant to react to any new experience? Right? Is to meet it and greet it with love. And that's the lesson. That is the lesson. It might take a long time for us to learn it. We're going back to Rex. What did the lady say, the soldier? Fantastic film. I mean, whoa. But I'm not, don't worry, I'm not going to break down in tears because I don't need to do that. Fantastic story. Congratulate the women that were involved in the production of that film. That's not having a go because it was nearly all women, I believe. And because I love movies, like the special effects, even because you see them blown up and you see, they obviously weren't, but you see the soldier, the woman soldier going for all in slow motion. And that's done, obviously, so you really get right. And the dog, of course, the dog wasn't hurt. We all know how these, well, we don't know, these things can be done. The magic of cinema, right? They're probably on a string or wire or whatever. But, that is the whole issue. One of the main issues of what all the film was about. They were blown up. She got the purple thing, right? And that's obviously just after that, the very important scene, portraying how she got the purple heart. Both her and Rex, you see her putting a hand on the dog. And even the sergeant, I think, said something like, well, is Rex okay? And she didn't say yes to me, she went to see him and put her hand on him. And she just got like a recognition, and he wasn't limping, I don't think anyway, no. And they did, both got up. Then the brilliant bit about how the three soldiers, then Johnson thing, not nasty, then, right, we're with you, we're coming. That's it, we're going. And they went in and they walked in. Obviously exposing themselves perhaps as fair. Then the other soldiers are called in, backing fire. And it's portrayed again, nearly all the bullets in the thing were fired. Oh, they were giving them covering, all right. You get me 2 machine guns on the thing, start to rattle in, because that would be the correct thing to do. You give covering fire. That if any of those idiot terrorists had stuck their head up to try and have a shot, they're dog meat, right? Extra fire. What's a few bullets to save someone's life? It wasn't like that. As I say, have some of this. It wasn't quite like that, but the thing is covering fire. And they obviously were. I keep saying this film was sort of based on truth. even if it was licensed, the main focal things were portrayed. You know, the issue that did get the Purple Heart, the issue that she treated Rex as a fellow comrade soldier. And that is clearly picked up or said, you know, on the other Paul, who are so many, she's talking to the senator. And like I say, she's all respectfully in a green usual Billy, you know, you got white hat and that, and you know, so there's none of this attitude of demonstrations, get it, and you know, no, this is done with integrity. She did get a petition together, but you don't see people with placards and that, no. Because the way, again, she did it. She said, this is my fellow veteran, Rex, who happens to be a dog, right? But that's how Rex is described, my fellow veteran. And he's going to be put down. And I would like him to be able to come home with me, to spend his last years with me. And then thought, because that's the gist of the article, the brilliant article the senator did write, and front page news in the papers. And that was the coup de grace. Get it? That did it. That pushed away all the negativity. That cleared it all out. And yes, you know, she was going to get her dog home. Okay. Because, of course, there were ways. You know, she could have had him on her muzzle when she took him out. You know, there's all this negativity. See, again, paranoid. Oh, well, he might go for some kids and how are you going to feel and whatever. Okay, yeah. But no, there's a way around all these things. And this beautiful thing that you see, you know, the good positive thing is Rex and her handler are going into their new little flat. So they're coming home. And he's got all these little toys, you know, things that dogs have, and she's sort of playing with him. Yes, you naughty. No, not naughty. Yes, you soldier dog. You know, and he's an absolute puppy. You know, no one would have been scared. You know, he's a puppy, you know, and playing with her. Again, a beautiful scene. And that's, I think most people like a film like that. A good, happy ending. It displays some negativity, yes. But again, that's good because it's bringing it into the light, you know, and a happy ending. And that's not being mushy, okay? That's how we want life to be, because it is. When we're in tune and in the spirit, that's the only ending there can be, is a happy ending. Everything can be turned around and seen as a lesson, as a growing experience that you're going through, and could be turned into a positive experience. Here end of today's. Well, it inks is a reiteration of yesterday's lesson. Okay. I'll just go over my. I'm fine today, thank you, as you probably already know anyway. Yeah, I will send you a photo, video, and where you're from. Well, I can say that now. I'm from Scotland. That's Spanish. So just, yes. Hola, desi Mexican. That could be like wishing, good wishes for Mexico. Yeah, and that's Arabic. So, but I just take it's obviously positive. Well, that's what I get. Love, we hug you. That's a good one, isn't it? We hug you. Oh no. Stones have come in, right? It's so lonely. Yeah. 20,000 light years from home, I think it is. Okay, well, let's see where we go with that. Right. Rolling Stones, Her Satanic Majesty's Request. And at the time, it was considered a response to the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's, but it wasn't. Of course, it was totally their way of doing whatever, and it had similarities. They had a brilliant cover, Kaleidoscope, and Mick Jagger's got a hat on and whatever. Whoa, it wasn't Her Satanic Majesty's Request, right? Well, but now I'm describing the LP, you'll know, and I've just sung one of the songs. It's so very lonely. We're 10,000 light years from home. That's it. It's a psychedelic LP, not your normal R&B. But obviously they were inspired, and that's it. That's what made it stand out. A satanic okay, again, no, that's Goat's Head Soup. Whatever. There is this cover, right, and you've got the satanic thing and whatever, but I think it's called Goat's. What does it matter? It doesn't, but I mean, it's this song that this is about. It's so lonely, we're light years from home. I said earlier, it's been impressed on me, this number 10,000, right? And this is, I've only been doing this. It's like I've been doing it. Well, it just seems yesterday, and it is. I mean, there's only days. It's all record. It's all on YouTube. They're dated, maybe 6 or 7 days. I don't know. But anyway, in one of these earlier ministries, whatever you want to call it, 10,000 has been given me. Now, just on a really down-to-earth level, well, I can do it through this. I would like my friendship level up to 10,000 people, please, because I think it's limited to 5,000, because there are people who'd like to be friends. I can eliminate some. Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, I'm still getting my peen arses, i.e. people do these little, well, quite black videos of men having sex. One just standing there with his penis, he's obviously doing it at a camera, an erect penis, right? No real response either way, but in the case, I've got things to do, and I have got to limit things, or what. I'm afraid you will just get excommunicated on the way to Sunday school. Jethro tells us coming in, right? You might know that song, you see. Brilliant LP, Jethro Tull, right? And it got a lot of religious lyrics in it, you know. And he's singing about being a kid, and I was excommunicated on my way to Sunday school or something, but brilliant. I've got to have a drink. Ooh. Now, my body is telling me you've got to watch when you go without sleep. Okay. Oh, yeah, well, there you are. Sleep deprivation was a method of torture, in inverted commas, used by the Japanese soldiers and other people, I'm sure, as well. And it was an effective way to get people to tell the truth. So you don't beat them with sticks and that, you just keep them awake, throwing buckets of water over them. And then eventually, because the person gets, like I am now, very high and elevated and lightheaded, right? And then they would ask them the same questions that they might have started off a while and realised they weren't going to get anywhere. This guy's a hard nut. It's no good just beating him because he just, you know, stick it and he'd just pass out. But this did work. Like I say, I just deprived him of sleep, kept chucking buckets of water home to freshen him up. And after about 6 or 7 days, he got very high. Actually, this ties in a bit with fasting as well. A well-known technique to achieve heightened states of consciousness is to go on a fast. And what you'll find is you will start to experience lightheadedness, but you temper it with water. Get it? Your body needs water more than it does food. Right? So what happens in a fast is, well, there's a thing called, I've done it, a water fast. So you're slowly weaning yourself off food, but you keep drinking your water, right? So you're tempering it. It's like biofeedback. You are in charge of the experience, right? And people are different. Because it's also known that when you're going through so-called hunger pangs, it's actually your body dehydrating. Try it. So instead of going eating some food and stuffing that down your neck, just drink some water, especially if it's pyramid water. And yeah, and that gesture of giving thanks all helps the process. I mean, I'm a lot better now. We'll just do it. I was up at 3, already done one, so I've had 2-3 hours sleep. But you can survive on a lot less sleep than what we're told as well. So whatever, everything's thing. But I feel, how can I do? Yeah, I feel that I've just been on a very powerful LSD trip, and those of you that have done this, and then the next morning you just feel dirty because it's your aura that is, in a sense, dirty. So the best thing to do, and obviously I will do that whenever, half an hour's time, is, which I'll do anyway, have a shower, cleanse my aura, because it might be tacky and you've been, exposed to things, right? Although you're in your sacred space, And that's another simple tip. Just go and have a shower. And you're washing whatever off, because it is like it sticks to you in your aura, and you just need to wash it. Your third eye and whatever. You don't have to do a whole thing of your chakras, but that's it. And that will get you grounded and ready for another day. But you might find after a while, I've just been told to finish that off, you can get a thing called burnout. That is where you're doing this, but eventually, well, you technically leave your body. Whoa. I mean, I was a miraculous escape. So some of the angels were well with me, and I'd been pushing it, 4 or 5 days with very little sleep. Obviously doing this, see another attempt to get this started, Black Unicorn or Beard Volleyball, whatever it's going to be. And it's right on the roundabout as you're coming into Lambride. So it's a perfect place for it to happen, because you slow down to come into a roundabout anyway. And the people behind me, and I had what's called a C1, which is quite an unusual scooter. It's like a plane in a sense. So it's got a roof. BMW made them. It's got a windscreen and a windscreen wiper. So you've got best of both worlds. You can keep dry. You can be kept protected from the wind, but it didn't go that fast. It was only a 125. Again, its design features were to be for businessmen who wanted to commute to work, but wear their suit. And it had seat belts, and you're sat up like this and you've got a seat belt, right? So again, you get optimum safety. This was a crash cell, needless to say, this roof, get it? And the windscreen wiper and your screen. So again, you see, you don't have to have goggles and things. It completely, gives you a good field of vision. Your wing mirrors were perfect, adjustable. And you just literally, a lot of them just lent it because it's like gliding. And that's how it's shaped. It's very aerodynamic. So you could just go like that and as smooth as whatever, beautiful, a beautiful thing to drive. And I have one. Plug again, BMW C1. You'd still be able to buy them perhaps second hand, or maybe they ought to make them again. 125, automatic. Their only drawback was very expensive to get serviced, because apparently had to take a lot of panels away to get to the engine, even just to change the spark plug. But to give it an actual service, change the oil, I think it was about, and that was a lot of money then, £200 or £300. But I think the psychology behind it was, if you're going to have a BMW, you've got the status of having one of the best engineered vehicles, or so at least a car, you can get. And that you'd generally be expected to be a wealthy man, and that isn't a problem for you. But I was just a lad, or whatever, and I did obviously find the servicing just, blew my mind. The first service I had, care? 300 care? Of course I paid it, but it made me very reticent to have the next service. It said carry on, keep waffling, all right, people. It's significant. I'm just double checking. New comments, travel. Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's not sexy older man. That's a beautiful compliment. I'm not sure, because again, see all this texting shorthand, I haven't quite got my head around that yet. You are, which means just the letters, right? You are a moving library, as per you are age. And taste of books, he's been sussing out, you've got the Zohar. That's nothing, mate. This way, I got the whole set of the Zohar. 24 volumes. Let's go over it. 24 volumes, the set. The Wisdom of the Zohar, 3-volume set. Gems of Dharma, Jewels of Freedom, which was one of the few books that my Tibetan Buddhist master has written. He's based in Sami Ling, which is very well known. It's the only, probably not right about that. There's probably a Tibetan Buddhist centre in London now, but it was the first, and that's just down the road, and that's where I took initiation or refuge into Tibetan Buddhism. I'm just doing these books here. So, Shakti Yoga, Gems of Dharma. So that's quite a unique book because it is written by a Tibetan Buddhist master. And I wouldn't say, I don't know how many followers or disciples he's got, but whatever. So yes, sorry, books, and knowledge. You are one up than others. Well, thank you. Whatever. Okay, that's that. 10,000 people So I would ask anyone from Facebook that does see this, there might be something set up now, just someone appointed to keep an eye on what's happening and whatever, and because they now suss this is how I use these videos. There's often things interjected in to do with what might be happening or what I need, right? Well, I'd like that restriction lifted, please. It's very symbolic and it's very much how I understand this ministry works. The larger the audience, the higher the ministry. And I know when it's starting to happen, when things come through me that blow my mind, in the sense that, wow, where do I get that from? And it could be something that I studied in a previous life or whatever, but it's new knowledge. New knowledge, I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, but there's still lots of things we need to learn that have already been learned. Yeah. Like the example of the swastika is a clear indication, right, that we have had the knowledge of the atom before. And that's actually what it is. But Adolf Hitler did get hold of it because it was meaning that, and actually reversed it as well, or whatever, because there's power in shapes and things. So he was using knowledge, but using it for his own end. Basically, a black magician. So yes, he certainly did have power over a lot of people. And yes, a lot of the German people obviously were sucked into this because he was hitting notes. We are the chosen race, and that's what it brought out. But I end that, which I've done. Adolf Hitler had black hair, silly little moustache, or another way I said, total ego, isn't it? I want to look different. Generally people like that are like that. And the other extreme, people like me, it's just natural. That's the way my hair grows. Trim my beard a bit every now and then, because that's the way God made me. Just genuine natural article. And someone else who is over into perming their hair, interfering a bit, having silly little moustaches, very much into ego. But we know all these things on a subconscious level, but we're regaining this knowledge. It's like there's not much to learn, it's just to release it. Shared about this, it's all been stored in the subconscious mind, everything you've ever done. But it's released as you become more ready or capable to handle it. That's a bit of a hippish term. Hippish, that's a new word, see, hippish. And so it's all controlled. But as we begin to understand, I usually say, the mechanics of it, that's how things happen, right? Person wants to move better in the spirit to teach, increase the audience. Once you've connected in to the Holy Spirit, if whatever, and can move in the spirit, and have had ministries to say that you can and have achieved this, then all you've got to do is make or increase the number of people you can reach, and the highest level of ministries can flow out and through you. So I would like that restriction of friends. I know I've got a lot of work. There is some, wheat from chaff to be sown out. And that is obviously people that are very much into their bodies. That's the way around that one. So if your reaction to me is that you want, oh, I get that asked as well, you know. Send me a photograph of your cock, please. You can see where they're coming from. They're totally animalistic. They don't see you as the spiritual being you essentially are. They don't sense that. They see you as a physical, attractive object to release their sexual desire on. I shared about this. So basically, you're like a masturbation thing. So it's an extension of getting a magazine with photographs. They get off on actually, you know, seeing you, and that's all they're interested in. So whatever, you will be just, you know, well, you can be blocked, not forever. That's the beauty, you know, you can block someone, but you can unblock them. If we moved in the spirit and someone who did like repents, their conscience is big. I'm very sorry, Graham, but I was using you in this fashion and I've now changed, and I would like to be able to connect in with you. Okay. Although anyone can see this, I've got no control over these things, whatever you want to call them, transmissions, channeling or whatever, but they can't message me, you know, bother me, try and get me on the phone, get it, which obviously is a disturbance for me. And so I'm being protected, and Facebook's doing a good job, actually. I've noticed that. I'd have 4 people at the bottom of your screen, and I'm in a messenger conversation with them, and then suddenly a clunk, sorry, this person's been, well, no, it's actually worded, but basically they're stopped. That's it, hasn't been verified. So they sussed a little hole in the system. People can come into Facebook and somehow not go through the proper screening. There's probably a process like give us your phone number or something, and then you just do that and they check it, and that you are who you say you are, and you are from where you want. And those people that haven't done that can be removed, and rightly so. So the whole Facebook scene is undergoing a purification and is a far safer place and a far special place. Spiritual teachers like me are coming into Facebook, go around the circle. This guy was very evolved, and you can see him doing his daily worship to Muhammad every day. And of course, he has got recognition by the Islamic people. I wasn't even sure who he was. He could have been from any of these Arab states, you know, any Islamic country you like to think of. No, I don't think it was Afghanistan. This was a genuine, very beautiful temple with a lot of opulence. I would say it was one of the Arab states. Beautiful building, you know, it's like marble or whatever. And the acoustics were just sing. And yeah, I'd recommend anyone who's never seen bona fide Islamic, you could use the word worship, or because actually he's singing the Quran. But this particular thing is like a prayer thing, like I said, to Muhammad. It's got a special name. Bit probably like our Agape thing. It's a special ceremony. But it is words from the Quran, but it is given a name. And it went on for 7 or 8 minutes. So it's not like, the other thing you get where you get a boring, big, long discourse and you're told this, that, and the other, and a load of stuff. No, because it's being sung. It's a beautiful, uplifting experience. Throats. Have you noticed how my throat's a lot better? And this is all to the water. You know, in days again, I mean, I've called some of them bit of a croaky throat because that was the major thing I was experiencing. Well, a croaky throat today, but right. And I'm clearly being told to promote, this is mainly the factor is the pyramid water. So maybe, well, it can always be tested. My water now is going up a few notches. It's the pyramid water I make here. I do that because I'm told I was always being people, Graham. This is my system of how I make what I'm just, you see me drinking. I'll quickly go over that again. So you've got round the base samples of water, other samples. You can't hear that because someone trying to get on the phone. From various places. You've got Lord's water, Ganges water, some pyramid water from America, right? And that could be built on and expanded and whatever. You can see some of my medicines, that's a cream, whatever. I'm pointing as if you can see me go. But right, and it's a black plastic mini little seat. So it's not the, as you can see, it's not the base of the pyramid, but that's working brilliant. There's some sequence of black. Remember, it's all the colors. And the pyramid itself is white. Yeah. Then we come to the big water container, which is like the reservoir. And that is now, oh yeah, that's a change, straight from my tap. I've shared this. I've got a monitoring device, parts per million, and my tap water is purer than bottled water. Because obviously it's all under this influence and everything. So, you know, we've got good water in Lifebringer. It's you want to, don't have to, well, you had a pyramid as well, but I mean, and it can be scientifically verified. You know, Lifebringer water, you know, whatever, and so many parts per million, which it is. It's well under, about just over 100, right, parts per million. But all the waters I've brought are at least 150. And if you go up to 200 parts a million, you are, you know, advised to look at your water supply, because that's not such a good level. And that's what you're doing when you use this meter for people who keep fish. So they're quite cheap, about 16 quid or something. Just a thing like a pen, you pull the top off and it's got 2 electrodes. Again, it's electronics again. And it's all worked out. It's got a little computer chip and that's it. So it's all to do with electric current, small, being pushed between 2 poles, and the resistance or the speed or whatever instantly worked out, and you can calculate how many parts per million you have in the water you're testing. You can get a meter to measure your alcohol, not alcohol, or alkaline level against acidity level. That's another approach you can take with water. That with certain conditions, you're advised to take a higher alkaline, get it right, level of water. And the acidity level of water, you know, is kept lower, but for certain conditions. But yeah, the machine I've got, you can make your own alkaline water, similar process, so electrodes. It's the same machine. I'll give that a plug. You can make colloidal silver whip, 2-in-1, £300. But I've tested it out and it's brilliant because you can make quite a big reservoir. It's all automated. It susses out. You get oh, there it is. That is your silver electrode. You see it, nice big chunky which will last you years, these days. So it's a silver rod, quite thick, and you just take the top of the machine off, and when you screw this on there's obviously a screw fitting in between the electrodes. When you put it in the water, it then knows that that's the process you're doing, because an S comes up on your LCD, and then you set it. But the maximum setting is an hour, and it will do the whole of this container, which I have been putting into there, which I will continue, but it will be tap water. Initially I was using distilled water. So that means it's got no particles in it at all. So it's a lot easier to verify you're getting your targeted, if you want to make colloidal silver, 15 parts per million. So you can demonstrate it scientifically. Oh no, that water is now officially, colloidal silver. And that's what you buy in the shops, right? Or online or whatever. Not so cheap. So it's well worth the £300, because for years and years that keep going and produce all of the colloidal silver you need, or your body needs. And colloidal silver is a brilliant thing, because it is just silver in water, right? But very small particles. And it will neutralize any virus at all. It's a natural, safe antibiotic. Brilliant thing to take all the time. You're building up your body's natural resistance, and it's very useful. You can you get this with it. You get a sprayer, so you put some colloidal silver water in there. That can be used to spray on the inside of your shoes. Those of you know that common thing you get athlete's foot is a fungi. This will neutralize that, right? So I do that, put thing. Could be sprayed on cuts, grazes, instantly, and you've, better than a bandage or a plaster, because it soaks straight through the skin. That's what colloidal means, very small particles, so it's absorbed far better. I mean, look, I do have to, because of diabetes, well, I have to prick my fingertips all the time. Well, I haven't done for a while, but whatever. And so spray on that. And it's handy to have with you, if you're a lady, a woman, it's a good thing to have in your bags. We all know you like the thing, colloidal silver spray, and you can make it yourself, and good thing to have. So quickly go back to my pyramid. So you've got your reservoir at the bottom, which is just, well, it isn't now, so it's colloidal silvered water, but it will be just tap water and not distilled water. I've been given the okay, that's the way. So that's easier for those, as long as you test your water. Right. Then on top of that is a wooden disc. You can see it because it's like that. It's being used like a lid, because there was a metal lid down. We've been told by the Russians, metal's not good inside a pyramid. It will interfere with its effectiveness, because the energy that you're drawing up with the pyramid is a form of electrical energy. Ionization, magnetic energy, all have an electrical part of it, if you follow me. So if you've got a lid that's all metal, it will interfere with the effectiveness of the pyramid, okay? Then that is a flower of life design on that wooden disc, right? And so that acts as a purifier. We're into things, this is sacred geometry. Many people who know about crystals, an example, that's what they do. They use their crystals and then put them on a flower of life mat, and it cleanses them. There are other ways to do it. You can wash crystals, whatever, but that's the most convenient way. And you could say the purest way, because it's, again, using the earth's energy as well, in a sense, as well. So on the top, you see 3 crystals. 2 of them are directly linked to Mother Mary. And to find more about that, because you might want a different avataric figure or whatever, brilliant lady called Judy Hall, who's written umpteen books about crystals, and you will find that sort of information there. You know, what particular thing you need, whatever saint it is or whatever, you can incorporate, you can slightly modify my model. But mine's Mother Mary, and another crystal is granite, which is known to be linked to the earth. Right? Not expensive, they're just basically polished stones. So this is a very cheap machine that you're building, but once it's built, you've got a machine that's going to produce for you pyramid water, which can be used to purify the planet. Right? You just take a little file out with you somewhere, go for a visit to the River Findorn. Saw a fantastic film. I couldn't watch it all the way through, but it blew me. Right, it's right near to one of my videos, because I mentioned the River Findorn in one of my videos, right? And the people that it is on YouTube, you know, they give any new person a shot. You know, you include, that's what I said, new things. It is, well, I've only been doing these 8 days, so this is new, right? But I incorporated in the title because it was, you know, Sacred River Findorn, I believe. But this thing after me, which is obviously done by a foundation member, how's it titled? Well, it is obviously very much titled to the River Findorn, but I misread it. It came, again, you see what you want to see or don't. Oh, 8 miles. Oh, that would be right. It's 80 miles. And it's long. I only watched it for 20 odd minutes and then saw it's another hour. Fantastic, because it takes you to the source. This is Yamamoto science. See, that the river takes on the energy of everything it passes through. And this is one of the most idyllic rivers, if that's the right word, that you can come across, because you see it's coming through mainly open land. I said that wrong, but just land. Very few buildings, a couple of railway lines or something, but very low key. You've got this bridge you go past, and it's just can only take 1 car. You see, because you're up in the highlands, and that's how it is. Not overdeveloped, no big infrastructure. Yeah, and you're following, and it's just got the soundtrack of the river, or any animals or birds, you know, that happen to be in the thing. Oh, so it's been well made, because you're capturing the sound of that place that you're being. They're photographs, okay. So it's not a film in that sense, but that's better, because you just got 20 or 30 photographs. It can be about the same place. You know, there's a gate or something, as an example. There's about 6 or 7 different angled photographs of it. So you really are sucked in, and you really are going on that journey from the source of the River Findorn, and obviously it eventuates up where the Findorn River does eventuate, right opposite the Findorn Foundation, and of course goes out into the sea. That water, obviously, well, for however long that river's existed, has been doing what Emoto has proved, and other scientists have, absorbing the energies of everything it passes through. And that was the whole theory behind Emoto's research. Like he said, he sourced water from different sources, and its pattern was there if it was polluted, right? And learn that, you know, you've got to purify your water if you do buy bottled water, because although it might have been fairly pure when it was bottled, because it's passed through all this transportation and stored and all this, you've got to cleanse it of that energy. You're advised to, shall we say, before you drink it. And one of the ways you can do that is to stick it on a Flower Life disc mat, if you like. So we are very lucky where we are, because I live just by the River Findorn, right? Because we have that river in our space. And then I share, on the witching hour, okay. I have used that river to practice 2, or maybe more, miracles, healing miracles I'm talking now. And all I did was scoop up the water in my hands. It wasn't a baptism, but it's a prayer out. Blessed Father God, I ask that this water be blessed and transmuted into exactly what this person needs. I ask this in blessed Lord Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Reaction. Instant. Do it again. Same thing. I'm on the third thing. He's completely still, okay. And we just walk out the river. We go down to the Kimberley pub. Very positive endings here. I call the police on his behalf. And the police come to the Kimberley Arms pub. And we're sat deliberately right by the door. The publican, I had to ask to use his phone. I'm saying this because it's very symbolic. These things are blatantly, there must have been Foundation people in the pub. It's one of their frequent haunts, and they'd have recognised, they know me, although I used to only visit every couple of years, but whatever. This guy had probably never set foot in the Foundation or that pub before in his life. But he was guided, even through his psychotic thing, to head for the River Findorn. I think the church that he'd smashed up was obviously in Forres. And he initially started his flee because he was in Ward 4, which is based in Elgin. So he'd come from Elgin to Findorn. That's about 16 miles, but I don't think he walked it. He had money, so he could have just got the bus. But that's where he was guided or drawn to go. A place of safety and a place in his luxury of healing. Of course. His guides and helpers obviously inspired him because he was a very devout man, but he'd had trouble with his father, who was an atheist. He shared all this a bit with me. He told me that when he was put back into the wing, that he'd be sedated, but made me promise to come and see him the next day, which I did. I've shared that before, but anyway, I used Coca-Cola because you can bless anything. It's a bit like the alchemy thing. Same prayer. Blessed Father God, I ask that this liquid be transmuted into the exact healing substance, I may have said, but whatever, that this person needs. But I might change the prayer a bit, that he is released from whatever is stopping him, that's it, from getting up. So I didn't name the drugs, I didn't know. He then sipped a bit, and that's it. By his faith, it was, because he'd already been healed by me. And it did work. He did get up, and he did make his phone call, and he did speak to his dad. I could hear it, you see. No, Dad, I'm a bit, no, I'm okay. Really, quote, Jesus has healed me. And I'm okay. You don't need to worry about me. I'm not going to do silly things like go and smash churches up, because he was getting into a negative psychosis. But that's because if he's surrounded with negative influences, i.e. his father, oh yeah, somebody's constantly instilling him in, don't give up all this religious nonsense and whatever. And of course, because he was his father, he had some clout. Oh, Peter's he's old enough to have left. Probably guess he's about 18, you know what I mean? A young man, not a kid or 14 or teenager. And it's gone the hour, Graham, which it has. I'm told to just quickly share about the other healing miracle. Similar thing. The pattern is that I have an ability to release people out of psychosis purely by prayer. And I'm prepared to go under some scientific investigation into that ability? Because I've also got my pendulum. Anyone tries to set me up, i.e., it's a complete con. You know, the person isn't actually going through psychosis. Oh, and you say that there's been, for whatever reason, I think it's a reporter, that's what it's all, but he faked that he was having a psychosis and did get diagnosed as a schizophrenic and did get put into a hospital just to prove the point that mistakes are made, which they are anyway. That's another story. I've been sectioned where there's nothing wrong with me at all, perfectly grounded. But I was trying to book to go somewhere which I've been urged by the spirit, a war zone. There you go. Not the sort of thing you go into a travel agent. Well, I want to go to this war zone, please. So what's the nearest airport there? Right? Okay. I can appreciate that, but it wasn't quite like that. I did not have an exact knowledge of what airport I wanted to go to, so we had to consult a map or whatever. Very nice assistant and gave me what you should do, you know, helping a customer. But in the process of that, the travel agent lady interjected, I would say stuck her nose in, but again, we could argue about that. Well, there was a lot of paranoia about people being terrorists at that time, and you could have been a sympathiser trying to get there to whatever, which was true to a degree. And interjected and literally asked me, see, I haven't spoiled my story. She had every right. She was being a good citizen, so I'm now paying the praise. Why do you want to go to this country? I could have said, because I feel it's where the Holy Spirit has guided me to go, and I'm going there as a priest, and I'm not got arms, and I'm just going to minister to people as a priest, which is my role. Over many lifetimes, Clark means priest. I'm of the Clark clan, and that's what the Clarks did at Culloden, because that's how I went to check out what tartan I have. And you look it up and you see that name, associate priest, and I was shown my tartan, which is a dark bluish tartan, right? And got a positive vibe, you know, seeing that, yeah, that was me. Obviously it was, you know, in that era and that age. And I did go to Culloden, okay? And I didn't have armaments. All we went into was our Bible and our medicinal medicines. You know, we were like a doctor. We were there to bandage people's wounds or attend to the wounded or do the last rites, you know. And you can't hear that, but it's something trying to, yeah. So the second miracle, like I say, entailed that I blessed a Coca-Cola. And this guy is in the ward. Oh, there's actually 3 now. Oh, yeah, right. 2 people, but 3 miracles. Right, okay. Got to do that now. Right, so it's the same guy that I'd taken the water. Well, you know all that, because he said, you see, in taxi, and I happened to have a Coca-Cola with me. That was it. And I offered it up and had that blessed, and it did work, and it released him from the effect of these drugs. Very powerful. Well, they literally half knock you out. That's what they do. Now we've had it. This approach has got to change. I've shared this in a DVD I made years ago. Of course, it was probably poo-oh'd, but I was speaking from experience. I'm a diagnosed person that's had psychosis. It's in the Elgin library. I did get a grant. So some people took it seriously. You get me, I sent the master or one of the masters to these people who obviously looked at it Do we want to fund this and have 2,000 copies made, which are going to be distributed free? Right, so it's just the cost of the duplication. In fact, they even brought us a duplicating machine because they thought the grant was, I think it's a lottery. We can't just give them enough money, It's buy them a machine so you can make more. So I've got my own duplicating machine as well. And I made this DVD. There's 2 of them, 1 in 100 and 1 in 100 take 2 on the design. It's got all the recovery factors that have been all scientifically verified. And there's things that assist someone to recover from a major mental illness, right? Brilliantly put together product, and all the artwork. There you go about the Findorn Foundation, of course. I gave them the commission to print the 2,000 labels, which were beautifully, again, Lex, as I know him, helped design it. I know what it wanted to say. And one of the back things, this is what I was into, subliminal imagery. Get this. I had this software that could minute something. So you'd write it in a normal size so you can read it, right? Om Mani Padme Hum, which is a mantra. And then it is minuted down and turned it into like a pattern, just a backdrop. So I'm already on the track about healing mandalas then. And this is years ago. Yeah, everything carries an image, and although the eye, or to look at it, just looked like this nice backdrop pattern, it was actually thousands, who knows how many mantras. Okay. And then all the examples of the things people need for recovery were all artistically designed, yellow, bit of science behind it, the various words that represented the various things that people need. Peer support was listed. Example, that's a good thing to help you recover, because this came from American research, right? And then on the front cover, the same thing, and it just had 1 in 100, which is a very symbolic number, again, that's known worldwide, on average, all over the world, right? 1 in 100 people can develop a psychotic tendency. I won't say illness, but they can enter into psychosis. 1 in 100. The freaky flu. Blew that, didn't I? The freaky few. 1 in 100. Yeah. They were people that had all been through psychosis and had formed a motorcycle group. And anyone who knows truly about motorcycle groups know that they do have a centering factor. And what do they have in common? And they've come together to give each other peer support, and have, left alone, which they were, but whatever, heal themselves. I shared this. They were some of the most spiritually aware, brave individuals I've yet, to meet, the freaky few. But the general thing, because yes, they did blatantly carry weapons, big machetes, and all this. It's rather like the, which you don't see much now, the people who used to have the spiked hair. Yeah? Punks, was it? Yeah. All had spiky hair, and that's a big thing. Or they all wore studded armbands and things. And to look at them, people would be repelled and, violent thing. They were the most peaceful, loving people you could meet, gentle people you could meet. But it's a form of protection. They were all just nice and peaceful amongst each other. They weren't into fighting or anything. Again, the media's got hold of it, and there maybe was something, it got totally exaggerated. And that comes back to, in a circle now, to people with psychosis have been distortedly portrayed as violent people, when in fact only 1 in 100 actually have a psychotic tendency, and the actual facts of the number of them that actually have a negative paranoid experience because of people's negativity that's been projected onto them, again, is so minimal. Now, the police know this. Let's get this straight. There's nothing wrong with it. They know this. They deal with these circumstances, and they're quite sad. I'll give you a classic case. A beautiful young woman is murdered by someone undergoing a negative schizophrenic episode. And it's because he's hallucinating and he didn't see that beautiful woman as a beautiful woman. He perhaps saw her as a demonic being. And he was in a flight of defense, illusion and paranoia, so he's in a sense of panic, killed this thing that he felt was a threat. And the police can verify this because they have to deal with these instances. You get hold of them, they've calmed down and they've come out and they're very remorseful, obviously. And unfortunately, most of the people that have done that have to spend the rest of their life under a sectioned psychiatric facility. Right? And there are these places. They're not hospitals to treat or cure, but a place of containment. And drugs are very much heavily used there. And that's, the attitude. Well, I've got a little challenge for you. If I could gain access to these facilities, I know there's a famous one, and all I'm coming with is prayer and some water. And for anyone that'd like to hear me, you just present me as a lay Baptist priest. Got this lay Baptist priest comes, he likes that, because they do security, anything like that, there will be guards and all this, but obviously I'd win their confidence and thing, and like I am now, he's not your average lay Baptist priest, okay? Because I could meet people on their space because I've known what psychosis is. In a very short time, I can win their hearts and, get them be ready to perhaps receive a healing. But I'd have a mechanical thing. Get it? I'd have a pyramid water. So I've got something physical. Oh, well, let's go all through it. Even get a video together as a presentation, the easiest way to do it, isn't it? Then anyone who wants, because it's all offer, anyone who'd like to try this, I can pray for you now and give you some of this water. And I could even, of course, also use my pendulum. That means if there are, again, people who are just not ready because unfortunately they've been really hurt and all the rest of it, then I could eliminate such people to receive it. I said, well, this is a simple test. I said, I use the pendulum. And again, that will open up their mind because I prove to them through using the pendulum that this works. I'd also tell them this, you can do this yourself. That's what happens in a workshop. You empower them. You're not on a big trip of I'm the big healer and that. You're giving them and empowering them to do this for yourself. Do you mind if I bring a few pendulums in? Just wouldn't, they're not here. And if anyone wants one, they can take their own. So I show them how to use it. Yes and no, and it's demonstrated. You could do the muscle testing thing as well. Very effective for drug addicts. Well, okay, I can physically demonstrate to you that substance there that you've been told is, whether it's heroin or whatever, crack cocaine, right, is actually not good for you. But I'm not telling you it. Your own body can demonstrate it to you. And I teach them the science of how to do that. You get some water. It's a bit of fun again. So you get two people. You pick out a macho person and someone who isn't so built physically. And then you just put something on that person's tongue that's a known harmful substance. His strength is instantly zapped, gone, and you then ask him to resist. Then you ask this small little guy to push down, and it does. Of course, more effectively, you reverse it. you demonstrate a good substance, so he has, got, in fact, actually a more level of resistance, right? And then you wash his tongue, you just swell your tongue out, because the tongue sends an instant message to the brain. This is all science again. That's one of the tongue's jobs. It analyzes whatever you're about to eat, yeah? And it's instant. Messages are sent to the center in the brain, but those messages, if they are negative, your strength is zapped. So you then put something for the second time, which could be, because it doesn't matter, it's a minute sample of, well, you could say, well, I can't do that, right? I mean, crack cocaine or whatever. Well, it could be, because you'd say, well, you must spit it out or whatever. There'd be a way around this, but it would. But once you've had that experience, you've got something solid that's going on. Something's happening here, something, right? Boom, they're then ready to receive, because the intellect has been blown away, literally blown away. Get it? All the stuff they've heard and everything is gone. And then you've got a space. Well, okay, they've had their mind blown a bit and whoa, wow. Whoa. Anyone like to try some of this pyramid water? Explain to them, it can't harm you. It can only heal or restore you, because you go through all that spiel, the Russian research. Again, a video could be done of that. Poisons are put under the pyramid, neutralized, radioactivity is put under pyramids, neutralized, and good things are put under the pyramid and are enhanced. Antibiotic, colloidal silver, if put under the pyramid, which mine is, I might add, is then enhanced in its effectiveness, because we're going beyond the physical level. Now that means that a substance has physical molecules in it of a substance. I said that wrong, but water that has a substance been put into it is a level of how it can work. That's physical, yeah? Physical. So you drink this substance and it's got this medicinal compound in it, and that's how it's working. But on this type of work, you're working on a different level. It's called the etheric, which is a higher vibrational part of your aura. So it's part of your existence and being, and that's the level you're working through. So on that level, we're back to the homeopathic principle. There's no actual harmful substance in that remedy, even though it was initially made from belladonna, which is a poison. And that is the homeopathic principle. And all homeopathic medicines are made on that same understanding. And if someone was asked to explain how it works, that would be it. It could be other things, Asta or whatever. But the gist is there is no molecule part of the substance that you're about to take. I've sussed it, see? Crack cocaine, make a potion from that no longer has any physical component of crack cocaine, as an example. See, the answers come, even when I'm now. Put a quick prayer up. Well, how can we do this? Oh, you didn't hear that. That's how. Any substance, heroin, anything, can be transmuted and changed into a perfectly safe medicinal compound of that initial substance, or an etheric counterpart, or an etheric example of it. But it means there's no physical particle of heroin, as an example, in the substance you give the person. And you can even demonstrate that, although a video could be done, whatever. So they know that it comes from heroin, but it isn't heroin. And they know when you do your muscle test example, it will still have the same effect of zapping them of energy, because their body has the intelligence. It's your own self. And the pendulum, or this muscle testing technique, are just you contacting what we can use many your higher selves. It's your own intelligence. It's you telling you this isn't going to be good for you. And when it's demonstrated to you, you are then ready to perhaps take that step of faith, right? Well, what have I got to lose? Nothing. And you hear me pray out, Blessed Father God, because that's where the Baptist priest comes in. Blessed Father God, I ask that this water be transmuted and changed the exact medicinal compound that such and such needs, because obviously you've got his name, and I ask this in blessed Lord Jesus Christ's name. Boom. Then you just give them a sip. Some people, there might not be an immediate reaction, but you have sown the medicinal, well, I won't say factor, compound in that person. You've done good. So you don't get on a disgruntled ego if nothing appears to happen. You know it will, and in its right time. But it is to the degree of their faith. Okay, but that's okay. And other people, though, will, and it's a traditional Baptist, I'm going to end, traditional lay Baptist science that's practiced in any run-of-the-mill lay Baptist church called an anointing, right? So they pray out, and there is this bit, release this person now from this condition, right? Bit of welly in it. And a lot of people just temporarily pass out, fall back. So you get people ready. They don't know it's going to happen. Well, they might. And the people are behind them ready to catch. And that's again all dramatic. What's going on? But that's it. You all, right, I want two people standing behind. I said he might fall down. I tell that. But it's demonstrated, and he does fall down. Do you think there's going to be a few more takers? Okay. And on that note, my news has come on. I have been on here an hour and a half, but I don't worry about that because I was told initially to keep it to the hour, but I've done quite a lot of an hour and a half. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people there, but there's been 13 comments. That's good. I'll quickly check if there's anything that anyone has wanted to feed back in, but I've got to go to the bottom, because that's how this works. The newest things are at the bottom. No, I've seen that before, so no. Hello, that's good. But it's just a thumbs up. So, okay, there's no actual questions, anything. I shall end this and quickly put in the last bit of thing to Mark Zuckerberg that I do and would like you, if you're prepared to do that after you've read or seen, that's the easiest thing. You see an outline of this charity, right, called Black Unicorn. It's only just recently been uploaded to Facebook. Oh, not uploaded, it's get right, but it's on YouTube. Because you know there's a link. And you can watch it, and it's me just reading through the whole document. So you've got everything, you know, it's the constitution of this charity, hopefully to be. That is what it is. And it'd be great if you became a patron, because you would, obviously. Of course, you would give it the publicity oomph that it needs to get it launched. So I'm not asking you to donate money, but I'm asking you to take that role, and that'd be far more helpful as well, because the media would obviously want to cover it, and that's what enable other people who perhaps might want to become involved in setting it up, because they're in that position. You know, they don't have to earn a job, or they, you know, whatever, so they're perfectly capable to come. And when, of course, it does take off, that's perfectly legitimate. People can be paid a wage, of course they can, if they're giving a full-time commitment to it. And the final thing, it's just someone's trying to come in, right? Calm down. That obviously this doesn't just have to be people who are in that position to give their time freely. You can be anything. You can be a single mother of 3 kids, because this has already been shared. How these salaries are worked out is on that, what you need. You're a single mother with 3 kids, it will be an agreed sum, of what you need. If you're a married couple, hypothetically, but again, you've got 2 kids, you're a single man who happens to have an elderly relative that you're responsible, all these things will be worked out and there'll be a fair wage paid to everybody, but not a silly over-the-top wage to cut the overheads to a minimum. The whole thing is obviously a spiritual impetus. So for anyone who's aspiring to practice karma yoga, this is a perfect vehicle for you. Karma yoga means a system of yoga to gain union with God, because that's what yoga means, but by actions. What do you do? I work for Black Unicorn and we raise money for the relief of suffering all over the world and for everything. As long as it's a charity, they can, I'm talking as if it's them, but if it's a charity, in the Constitution, Black Unicorn can assist it. I won't go over, in the previous video, when I was actually reading the outline of the video, of course, there's a lot of examples that are coming in to expand upon that particular section of how it could eventuate, practical things. And it is an hour and a half. I would say, obviously, please check out the previous video, which is just called, I believe, Black Unicorn or Fear for Unemployment. So it was made just before this. It's on YouTube. It is on my Facebook page. And I can, upon request, repost it on Facebook. You get me? You just do the thing of share, right? Or I can send you the link directly. You contact me, you're a member of Facebook, and you say, I'd like a link sent to me, please, through Messenger, and you'll be sent the link. And I believe you have to be able to get YouTube, because it's a link to the video if you follow me on YouTube. Or I can, obviously, weather permitting, and because there's thousands, other things I want to get on, but directly post it back into Facebook. And if it's loading, is it there? It will be shown or available for people to watch on Facebook, providing there's the thing, supply and demand, And obviously there's all these other people trying to put things out on Facebook. But whatever, when there's a will, there's a way. It'd be very easy for me to get access for you to watch any of the videos that I've made about Black Unicorn or whatever. So I'll say, God bless. Normally end with the Morton and Wise, goodbye from me and a goodbye from him. But bless you, and I hope you go for it.